All right, guys, decision day for the old 140 is coming. Do we keep it or do we sell it? But first, we need to get to the shop for a little bit of TLC. Let me explain. All right, guys, well, we got the Hyundai 210 in our possession. We're gonna take advantage of that and put this machine down in the shop and take care of a few gremlins it's got. I don't know if you guys remember last year, we run into some low fuel rail pressures and going into limp mode a little bit. Now the summer's come along and the heat's come back. It's getting considerably worse this year. We did some testing. We're pretty sure we've got it down to it needs a set of injectors, so we're gonna pull it in the shop and yank the injectors out of it. The AreaDieselService said they'd help us out on getting this fixed up there. So we're gonna load this thing up, take her down to the shop, then we're gonna give her a bath first, pull her inside, start tearing it apart. Whether I sell it or whether I keep it, I need to get this fixed either way. And I am seriously thinking about selling this machine, and whether I buy the 220 or not, upgrade to a slightly larger machine. So if I do end up selling this, I want to make sure it's in tip-top shape for whoever ends up with this. So let's get her done. Yeah, man behind the scenes is taken care of. It's got the wash station all set up and ready to go. Good work, little buddy. What'd you do? Try to recruit you some help so you don't have to power wash?
I got some good help for a change. You don't ever want to listen, so I got Wade to come in and help.
Said he had to bring in more management. That's
that's the last thing this operation needs, more management.
Well,
it took them 2 hours to get that thing hooked up.
I was coming up the hill, blowing the air horn on that thing, trying to get you to stop, and you wouldn't do it. I was gonna go help him load the Volvo up, and I was right at the top of the hill, and he just blew right by me.
Being a nice guy, I mean, some people you can't help.
Yeah, exactly.
You know exactly. All right, guys, we got the little homemade pressure washer fired up and working. This thing is absolutely awesome for situations like this. Aaron and I are gonna spend the next hour or so trying to get this thing cleaned up a little bit, and then we'll track it down and get it in the shop. So I'm not gonna bore you with a whole lot of washing. We'll see you over the hill. Man behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure that's not where the injectors are located.
It ain't?
No.
Well, we're gonna find out. Man, injectors don't have filters on.
Oh, I can hear it go, oh.
Yep.
Well, that's gonna be dirty.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. We decided before we went into injector mode, we need to change the air conditioning filter in the shop because we can't be hot.
Screen go up or down?
There's an arrow on it, genius. That is dirty.
Yeah.
That is dirty, dirty.
So the screen goes up.
I think if it's running, you just stick it up in there and it'll stick. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. All right, back to the real work. All right, on to the real work. Have you ever pulled injectors out of a 140 Volvo?
No, sir.
Well, good news, that makes two of us. It can't be that hard, and they're in there somewhere. I'll say first things first, let's just go ahead and get this hood assembly out of our way, get this all opened up so we can get in there to work, and go from there. Looks like we need, not a torch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we don't want
Easy, Gina, easy. Let's start off with an impact and a 17.
That's mechanic work, not ball. Torch I can handle.
You don't watch this guy. I feel cold air coming out now, that's nice. In theory, if we take these few bolts out here, we can just take this whole thing off. That's my thought plan behind the scenes. Oh no, I do need that back.
Okay.
Pretty please. Sugar on top.
Shut it.
Should just lift right off.
Yep. All right, how heavy is this thing? Hey, watch that bolt you left in there.
How heavy is this thing?
Yeah.
You asked that question like I'm supposed to know. Oh, it's not too bad.
Oh, good deal. You gonna be able to make this step down?
Oh, like this to you.
It ain't that heavy, it's running.
Now what are you gonna do with it? You got it?
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Just gotta put a little heave-hove into it, it'll be just fine.
Oh, ain't heavy.
I don't feel anything from up here.
Oh.
Well, good news, I can now see the engine. This is what I do need to know.
That's where he put oil in.
Some way, shape, or form, we need to be underneath that. So I guess let's just start randomly taking stuff off until that's the piece we take off. It's a great thought process, right?
Or make a phone call, call a mechanic in, have them do it. We'll sit down there and check.
Unfortunately, if I make that phone call, I think my own phone's gonna ring. And if somebody else answers, I'm gonna be bankrupt. It can't be that. It can't be no worse than the Kubota.
No, it's a lot more open right here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we can handle the Kubota, we got this.
Yeah.
All right, scalpel.
Yep. You want.
8mm 1/4 inch. And you may bring a 10mm 1/4 inch too, just in case. All right, let me kind of show you guys what we're at here. We got the valve cover off. Honestly, it wasn't that horrible at all. The biggest issue is this wiring harness right here. If it unhooked on one end or the other where you kind of hinge it up out of there, it'd make accessing that fuel rail down there, which is what we got right over there, a whole lot easier. But it wasn't bad at all. I'm definitely not complaining. It actually came out of there fairly easy. So now we got the top of the engine off, the valve cover off. This is our rocker assembly, and these right here are injectors. It looks like the wiring harness is actually made into the valve cover gaskets. We need to pull these wires off the top here. I went ahead and stuck some rags down in there to make sure those nuts are actually made into those clips. If one comes loose, I don't want to go fishing for it in the engine. So got a few of them broke loose here. You guys see as I pull them up off there. Should just get them all loose, and we'll pull that whole assembly up off there. I even went and taped my socket on my ratchet because I didn't want to drop it down in there. You break all these loose and get them threaded up, and then we'll see if we can get them up out of there. All right, got all the bolts loose on the wiring. There is 2 additional bolts here on each end that kind of hold that down. Let's see if this thing just gently comes up out of there. There we go. It's not too shabby. Check that out. All right, now we got the valve cover off. Next we need to do is there's a little bitty tube that goes from outside the engine block inside that injector and fills fuel in there, and I believe it also doubles as a check valve. I went ahead and pulled one out because it's kind of hard to get down there and see what's going on, but here it is. This nut right here holds it in the block, and then this goes over, and we'll see where it goes into the injector here a little bit later, and you see it's got kind of a little ball detent that holds it in there. I'll show you how I went about taking it out. First thing you gotta do is take the nut off that holds it in. See if I can do this without dropping it. Come here. I promise it's coming off. You just gotta stick with me. There we go. Comes off like so. And then you can't take your fingers and quite pull it out, so I'll kind of show you what I did. I did go ahead and put a couple caps on our high pressure fuel pumps there to keep some dirt out of there. So what I figured out worked. Got our fuel line here that come off. Let me put you guys down and I'll kind of show you. I know it's kind of hard to see down there, but right here is where it comes out of the block. So I'm just going to thread this fuel line on there a couple of turns, then ever so gently get a pry bar in behind that nut and pop, just like that. She comes out of there. Well guys, good news, I got the first injector out. Bad news, apparently I hit the record button. I talked to you guys through the whole thing and nothing recorded. I don't know what happened, but I'll show you here on the next one. But now that I got that out, this is where the little fuel thing comes over, and it actually pushes right in there. It's a machine fit. That's how it gets fuel delivered to it. This thing basically has, oh man, I don't know how many pounds of pressure it does, but it has constant pressure on it, and then the computer up here tells it when to open and close, and it shoots it out the bottom right there into the cylinder. So let me show you how these things come out of here. They're actually not horrible to get up out of there, and then we'll get these things boxed up and ready to send off to Area Diesel. All right, this injector is held down by one bolt right here. I went ahead and took my socket up so I didn't lose it again. It is an E10 Torx, so we'll bust it loose here real quick. Thread it up out of there. Try not to lose it. And then, all we should have to do is take this little lady's foot pry bar, get underneath that thing, and then just ever so slightly give it a little love tap up out of there. Come on. There it comes. Got it. Well, there you have it, guys. All four injectors are out. We are done up here. That wasn't too bad at all. Maybe took 2.5 hours. If I actually knew what I was doing, we could probably cut that time down a little bit, but it wasn't bad. The worst part is when an excavator and they're all that way, you're kind of working down on your knees trying to get down in that hole. But got all 4 of them here cleaned up and ready to be shipped off. I'm going to send this piece along with them. I think it's got a check ball in it. I'm not for sure if they need that for testing purposes or not, but that way if they need it, they will have it. Get those shipped off to Kurt and his team up at Area Diesel. Let him go through them and check them out and see what we got. And I'm sure he'll get us fixed up. We'll get this thing back together. So we'll catch you when they're back. Gunner, guess what?
What?
We got parts in for the Volvo.
Okay.
You going to install all the injectors and I'll just go sit on the couch?
No.
Why not? I think you can do it. All right, you guys probably noticed my other little helper got switched out from my other little helper as Aaron had to go back to work, didn't he? But check this out. The guys at AreaDieselService has hooked us up. You guys remember the last part of this video, pulled the injectors out, sent them off to them. They did a complete video over it. I haven't seen it yet, but from the results I've seen, is 3 of the 4 technically failed. He says they weren't bad, but they did technically fail. And from the Volvo guys I've talked to, these things are really finicky about the injectors being just right in them, or they'll kind of do the symptoms I got of the erratic low fuel pressure code in certain situations. So anyways, could not be happier with those guys, man. What a class act over there. And I'm just not saying that because they helped me out. They know their stuff. The amount of stuff they have access to is just, I can't even show you guys. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. You need to jump on over to their website, check them out, and see what all's going on over there. Because if it's diesel, they can either get it, fix it, make it, or know somebody who can. I promise you that. So we're going to tie into this thing and try to get it going. And again, they got a complete video on their YouTube channel of testing these injectors. They were hoping they could rebuild them, but from what I gather, parts were a little bit hard to get for them, so it made sense just to get some new ones. That's what they shipped out to me, but they'll cover all that in their video. I'll do my best to link it down in the description so you guys can see it. Cannot thank these guys enough, man. I'll have to admit, I've heard a lot of other YouTubers talk about them and how impressed they were with them, and I am not disappointed at all. So, all right, you ready to do something? You know what step 1 is?
No.
You're not near as talkative as my other little helper, you know that? All right, we're gonna get up there, get these unboxed, make sure we got clean holes, and start to put it back together. We also got new injector tubes, which is what goes through the head into the injector. I think we got everything we need. Let's do it. All right, you ready to put the first one in?
Yeah.
So they come pre-shipped. See that little washer on the bottom of it? Mm-hmm. That's important. And we got to look down there and make sure the old injectors didn't leave one of them. And if we pull this sleeve off right here, this hole right here has to go that way, which this injector hold down will kind of force it to go that way. So that oil ring's kind of pre-lubed already. First one's going in the hole. You ready?
Yep.
Nice and gentle. Falls down there just like that.
And we're done.
Got, where's the hold down bolt? We'll go through and put all these injectors in, and then we'll come back and
tighten them up.
Torque them. You know what torque them means?
No.
They all got to be tightened to a certain specification. It's important, though. All right. Injector number. It's either injector number 1 or number 4, however Volvo wants to count. We're gonna do injector number 2 or 3.
Guess.
You know what these things do?
No.
They spray fuel down into the engine
But
at just the right time. That's what makes it explode. That's what makes it go fast. I guess it's not a go-kart, so don't go fast, it just goes.
yeah.
All right. Check hole number 2, it looks good. Let's get our hold down brackets, we got our alignment. You ready?
Yep.
There she goes. Number 2 is in.
Now we gotta put the bolt in.
Yep, put the bolt in. The main thing is, don't drop anything in the engine over there, clumsy feet. You got it, dude?
You're the one who dropped one of the thingies in there the last time.
I didn't drop it in the engine, it went down below it. Shh, you're not supposed to tell them that, man.
Okay.
It's supposed to be our little secret. You're not very good at keeping secrets. You told Mom I did a burnout yesterday.
Because you did. Well, she saw that one on the hill because you were sliding down.
Shh. Can't tell them everything. All right. Everything we gotta do is it's important to keep these things clean because they got really small little holes at the end of them.
And you can't get dirt up in there.
You ain't get dirt up in there because they won't work right.
Yeah.
All right, here goes number 3. You ready?
Yep.
You videoing?
Yeah.
Okay. There's the hold down bolt for that. One more.
Okay.
Good news. We got one more left. It's like they knew how to send the exact right amount. You're gonna run like a brand new one.
But it doesn't look like a brand new one.
Because you're gonna clean it after we're done.
No, I'm not.
Then it'll look brand new after you get done cleaning it.
Am I cleaning it with Mom's pressure washer?
Well, if she don't catch it.
Yeah. He won't catch me.
All right, number 4 going in. You ready? You gotta remember me to make sure I remember to pull them rags out of there later, Gunner.
What rag?
These rags so I don't drop anything down in there.
Oh, yeah.
And where's the last hold down bolt? Right here.
And
all right, let's look up the torque spec and the sequence and all that good stuff.
okay.
We'll get him tightened up, all right?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna go through, just kind of snug these down by hand, and we're gonna come back and torque them. So like a plan?
Yep.
See how I take my sockets, I don't have to worry about it coming off and you gotta fish it out of the oil pan later? So now you can see what we're doing down here. Are you pointing up at the sky?
I was pointing at you.
They don't want to see me, they want to see the injectors. All right, ready for a torque wrench?
Yep.
It's supposed to be torqued to 20 foot-pounds. I've already got it set. You gotta listen for a click. You ready? Hear that?
Yep.
Means it's tight. That's where it needs to be. Let's go do this one. Another one. Got it. The fancy ones beep. I got the old clicker. All right. Injectors are in. All right, so some of you guys are gonna call me out on this, so I'm gonna go ahead and address it. These injectors actually have a 4-digit calibration code on top of them, and you're supposed to go into the computer on the machine, enter that code, and basically that tells the computer how that injector is calibrated. It's supposed to make it run more efficient, a little bit cleaner, a little bit better, yada, yada, yada. I am not gonna do that. I never have done that. Even back in the days working at the dealership, this is my personal thought. It's a little bit of hocus pocus, and I think some companies have even got away from it because after that injector gets some hours on it, gets some run time on it, that calibration goes out the window anyways. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna go through and document each injector, which hole it's in, what the calibration code is. So if anybody ever wants to go do that in the future, they're more welcome to go do it, but I am not personally going to mess with that step. Kind of curious what Kurt's opinion at AreaDiesel is on that. Some people are just diehard about it, and some people kind of got the same thought as me, is it's just really not that big of an issue. So now we got the injectors on, I'm gonna take and set we're gonna reuse the old valve cover. It seems to be in really good shape yet. Gonna clean it up. The valve cover is also the wiring harness. We're gonna get that down on there, and then get the valve cover back on it, and we'll start putting the fuel rail and everything back on. I just want to get this engine covered up so we don't have to worry about anything falling down in there that don't belong. So, you ready to hammer down and get some of this back together?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, got the valve cover back on. You know what's next? Got to put the injector feed tubes in.
And then
That's what's in those little things right there. Can you grab one of them?
grabbed one.
All right, so here, hold that. Pull it out of there. Let's not drop it. Get this out of here and I'll show you guys.
I just dropped something.
This thing here goes in through the side of the head and points into the injector, and that's what feeds the fuel in there. And it's got one of these bolts right here. Here, you hold the camera, Gunner.
Okay.
See this bolt right here? Goes on the outside just like that. Tighten it down. That's what pushes it up in there tight. I think it gets torqued to 75 foot-pounds, but don't quote me on that. So, I'm gonna put a little bit of lube on that O-ring so it'll slide in there easy. We're going to slide in the side of the head and see what happens. Let me show them. I know it's hard to see down in there, but we'll see if we can get one of them in together here. There's one started. All right.
Another.
Yep, you want to open another one up? Where is my, here, let me get this right here. Don't drop it.
Hold on.
All right, I know it's hard to see down there, guys, but the injector feed tubes are installed. I couldn't find the exact spec for this engine. I found a spec for one that should be really similar, around 45 foot-pounds. So that's what we went with. Definitely want them tight enough, but also don't want to get them too tight. So next thing we need to do is install the common rail. You guys hear about common rail fuel systems. This right here is the common rail on this particular engine. Basically, the way this works, there's two little pumps right there. I got caps on them, one there and one there. Those create what they call rail pressure in here. This engine, I don't know the spec on, it's usually anywhere from 1700 to, I don't know, 2500 PSI. And that keeps constant pressure up there on those injectors, and then that electronically fires them and it puts the fuel in. So as those injectors wear, they will bypass fuel. If they bypass too much fuel, rail pressure drops, and that's the code we keep getting. That's kind of a big no-no code. So hopefully we got all that issues fixed, but that is very, very difficult to get down there and film that. This wiring harness right here, about taking the wire snips to a few times, but have decided against it. So let me get that rail set back in there and plumbed up. I'll show you what it got, show you guys what it looks like, and then we should be pretty close to having the top side of this engine done and possibly doing a test fire. Here's what it looks like with all the fuel lines back on, guys. I ended up numbering these all before I took them apart. I thought that was a little bit goofy, but let me tell you, kind of proved to be pretty handy because they go all different directions. One thing that's really important when messing with those common rail fuel systems, or any fuel systems for that matter, everything right there is after the filter, so you got to make sure you keep it squeaky clean. I blew out all the lines before I installed them, make sure all the ports are clean, all that good stuff. I'm gonna get a few of these wiring harnesses hooked up. Need to get this plugged back in. It actually sets up over top of it. And I'm gonna get the coolant jug mounted back right here. We're gonna turn the key and crank this thing. Well, I went to crank this little girl up. I actually turned this fuel filter earlier to get a number off of it. And apparently, I poked a hole in her. I don't know if you guys can see it. We sprung a little bit of a leak. The good news is they can get a filter. The bad news is it will not be in until sometime in the morning. So I guess we're about as far as we can go for right now. Well, I sure know how to make a mess, don't I? Leave a little bit of pressure off that. All right, try this again in the AM. I about said good morning, Mr. Millennial, but it is
way past that now.
You want to inform about our fuel filter debacle this morning?
Your fuel filter.
We just need one filter to start this thing.
That was supposed to be in at 7 a.m.
Yes.
And it wasn't at the 15-minute drive location.
Correct.
So we called the 40-minute drive location. Their sister store, the hour and 20-minute drive location, had 5.
I guess we should stop complaining and be thankful. I think we need to spray paint it white because now it's not going to match all the other ones.
That just tells the potential you know what, that it's brand new.
Is that the way it works?
Yeah, that's the way it's gonna work.
All right.
I don't know how you took it apart. I'm assuming that goes into there, but I want to
that
put
was
this on
like
there.
so 2 days ago.
Yeah. I wasn't here 2 days ago.
All right, what do you think?
You gonna hold that for us?
Do you ever notice how much he talks until the camera comes on and he don't say a word? I
Exactly.
think I'm just gonna leave the camera on in the corner the whole time.
No.
That way we don't have to listen to you go 1,000 questions.
That's what they're supposed to do, Dad.
Dad.
I bet I can reach it, Dad. No,
Dad.
you can't. Oh crap! Yes, you can.
What's this, Dad? Why is that there, Dad? What's going on, Dad?
That was us 30 years ago.
I feel sorry for my dad.
Exactly.
All right, let's top that off with fuel. We're gonna spin it on there. We're gonna see if this thing cranks up.
We'll go see.
Moment of truth. All right, priming.
In hope, smoke and fire, right?
Well, I'm going for the smoke. I can do without the fire part. Let's just.
Meaning it actually starts up and fires in the engine. Genius.
I'm glad you clarified that.
We don't need Captain Kleeman called, all right?
All right. Oh my. Goodness, now what'd you do?
You primed it too much.
Gunner. This fuel filter may be the death
This is what happens when NY Millennial puts it on. It stays together, DP.
What do you think?
He says yes. I know that's what he's saying, but he's not saying it because you're his dad.
You ready to see if this thing will crank?
I am.
All right.
How about you, Gunny?
Let's
I'll
do
go
it.
do it.
Hold on now, easy there, cranking fingers.
Hey.
We got a runner. Make sure we ain't got any leaks. Smoking just a bit, got a little bit of fuel down the cylinders when we pulled them injectors out, but that should clear up here just a little bit. You got that side?
Yeah.
You got guide it on there?
What?
You know where it goes?
Look right on the line over here.
Alright. Got it?
Come to me this way.
Go this way.
Back to you.
There it goes. Good job, Gunner. Piece one is in place.
Now we gotta do this.
Yep.
The first
all the bolts up there.
All the bolts are up there. All right. I hate to be Mr. Obvious, but I think we put them on here in the wrong order.
I didn't take them off. I just grabbed them when they were sitting.
I think we can still get it though. You get it? Hold on a second. We gotta go up and over that. There we go. We gotta go under that. Whoop. Grab that. Hold on. Grab that right there, Matt. Slide it in there. There we go. There we go. All right. Hold on. We gotta get one more thing slid.
This one needs screwed over.
All right. You're awful eager with that bolt over there.
What?
Hold on. Here. Hold the camera.
Alright.
We gotta raise this up. Like this. There we go. There we go. Look at that. That where your bolt line up?
It's under there.
Whole thing needs to go. Oh, stuck to the camera, huh? You got it?
Needs screwed over a little
Yep. There you go. Start her in there. Good job. There you go, Matt. Get a couple back here. You big enough to use that thing?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. No more. No more. All right, next. Perfect.
You're gonna have to.
Let me get this one because you can't reach it. I'll let you have it. You get that one over there? Yeah. Right there by your face. Look, all right? Here.
Yep. So,
There you go. Good job. All right, we got the hood back on. What's next?
pull it out and pressure wash.
Pull it out and pressure wash. Are you pressure washing it?
Yes.
Look, while we were waiting on parts and stuff, we got the inside cleaned up. Don't it look good, Gunner?
Yeah.
Smells good. It hasn't been that clean since I bought it.
I think it was cleaner whenever we bought it.
All right, let's fire it up and track it out. All right, fire in the hole. Everything seems to be running good. No warning lights.
Go open the garage door?
Yeah, you open the garage door and let us out. We are back in business, folks. Back in business. All right, Gunner's been dying to do this all day. We finally got it pulled outside, spraying her down with some degreaser, get her all cleaned up and looking nice. I'll have to show you guys, Mrs. Dirt Perfect got her first channel sponsorship the other day, and I'm a little bit jealous, to be honest with you, but she got this little electric pressure washer from Giraffe Tools, and it's not as powerful as our big gas ones, but let me tell you, this thing is it's pretty handy. What's really nice about it is the kids can hook it up and wash off their four-wheelers and go-karts. She can hook it up, spray off the porch and stuff. Basically just turn it on and go. So far it's proved to be a pretty handy little tool. Pressure washer's nice, ain't it? Don't use all your soap on one side, goofball. Spread it out.
I finished that side.
Oh, you finished this side, so now you're going to the other side?
I'm going on the front.
You got a lot of excavator to wash. You better get going. Be sure you get all the nooks and crannies. I think you missed the spot.
Where? Up there? Okay.
You get it?
Yep. Got it. I may have to get up there.
Here, get up there, I'll hand it to you.
Oh my God. Oh, it's slippery up here.
Be careful.
I almost sprayed my face.
All right, we're gonna turn Gunner loose, let him do the pressure washing. There is a full video on Mr. Dirt Perfect's channel of receiving that pressure washer, mounting, and all the details of it. I'll try to remember that in the link below. But the real question is, guys, what is the future for the 120 and the Dirt Perfect fleet? And unfortunately, I think we've come to the decision. It is officially for sale. It was pretty hard to come to that decision. A lot of you guys are gonna think I should have kept the 140. Traded off the 120, but the 120 is still the most reliable machine I got and one of the most profitable machines I got. And it's quite clear, and I'll cover this in some other upcoming videos. We have definitely got to the point where we probably need a larger machine in the fleet. This is still considered a low hour machine. It's still in really good shape, and gonna get rid of it while I still got some value to it and move into a bigger machine. A lot of you guys are probably assuming we're gonna go ahead and buy the Hyundai machine, and that is pretty high on the radar. But also been looking at a couple other options, not 100% for sure what route we're gonna go, but we do know for sure this one here is gonna be up for sale, guys. 2016 model, 2,900 hours, blade, 32-inch shoes, coupler, progressive link thumb, bucket, pretty clean machine, new injectors. You guys seen it on the videos. Asking price is $84,000. So if anybody's interested, I'll put my email down in the description. Get a hold of me. It may or may not be sold by the time these videos come around, but either way, get a hold of me and we will find out. So, did you get it? All right, I'm gonna give Gunner a hand, finish getting this thing cleaned up. Huge thanks to the guys at Area Diesel. I'll link their video down in the description before. If nothing else, just go over there and tell them thanks for helping me out. Those guys were awesome. Absolutely awesome. Can't thank them enough. And the amount of stuff they got access to is absolutely insane. So check that out. Link will be in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give the video a big old thumbs up. Want to make sure you don't miss out on what's coming up next or what the next machine might be. I'd consider subscribing. That way we can catch you on the next one. Later, guys. Hold on just a second, guys. Got a little bit of bonus footage for you here. I just want to kind of go back and fill in some blanks. This entire video was filmed over like the course of a month, and it was also filmed without seeing anything that Kurt and them guys did up there. And if you have not seen that video yet, holy cow, that was absolutely awesome. I was totally nerding out on how they went over every little piece in them injectors and what they do and how they test them, how they rebuild them. They even had stuff underneath the microscope. Go check it out. It was absolutely awesome. But a few things I want to hit on real quick. One is how we come up with the diagnosis on our end, and it was possibly the injectors. We have been fighting a low fuel rail code in this machine off and on for about 1.5 years now. And about a year ago, when we were having all the problems with the 850J, which is the reason why I didn't video this, we actually did a kind of a crude leak down and leak by test on the machine while it was hot and having the issue. And our methods, which is not near as accurate or scientific as those guys. Keep in mind, I'm not a Bosch dealer or a Volvo dealer. You guys know me. I just kind of find a way to get by. The machine failed both of those. Again, it was marginally, but it did fail. Talking to some Volvo guys, they're pretty finicky on their injector status, so we were kind of thinking that was probably our issue. Limped the machine along for a while. Like I said, we had the 210 here. We were able to get the machine out and get the machine down, get the injectors out of and shipped off. Like Kurt, I was fully expecting these things to completely fail that first test, the leak down test, and they performed absolutely awesome, which was I think a little bit surprising to all of us, which was also pretty cool because their test methods, unlike mine, are absolutely foolproof. So talking through things with him, we weren't 100% for sure if we got the Gremlin in machine. I pulled it out of here, posted it for sale, and it sold like in the first 15 minutes I had it up for sale. It was crazy. My phone absolutely blew up. So I don't want to be the guy that possibly passes on a problem. So I told the guy that was buying it, like, hey, listen, I'm gonna go out and run this thing for a few hours. I've been dealing with it long enough. I kind of knew what I needed to do to recreate the problem. Basically, if you kept it loaded up for an extended period of time, it would show up pretty quickly. So the next day I went out and ran it for a couple hours, did that, tried everything in my power to recreate the problem and never could. So I can't say definitively for 100% we got the problem, but I could not recreate the problem. A guy come picked up the excavator a couple days later. It's living a new life in Nashville, Tennessee now as a demo contractor. I talked to the guy a few times just because I was kind of curious myself, and it seems to be running fine and not having any issues. I was completely honest with the guy. Told him I just threw injectors in it, told him we're having a low fuel rail coat problem. I think I got the problem, but I can't promise it. And he was pretty understanding of it, appreciated the honesty. So I figured from my end, that's about all I can do. But man, I cannot say, I was impressed with AreaDiesel before, but afterwards watching their video and their setup and their facility and their knowledge, holy cow. I strongly encourage you guys to go over and check out that video. It was really, really cool. And in case you guys already watched the video, you already know that Kurt, if you guys mention my name, if you do any business with them, he'll help you out on some shipping coming and going. So hopefully that clears up a few things and fills in a few blanks. As you can tell from some of the stuff I spit it off about rail pressure and a few other things, those guys are I know the basics. Those guys are the experts. There is no denying that fact whatsoever. And speaking of experts, we're gonna do a little challenge here. So if you guys that are in the know, or you guys watch the video closely, I made one huge mistake when I put the injectors back in the head. And if anybody can tell me what that mistake is, first person to comment it will be a $100 Amazon gift card. I'm just kind of curious. It is in the video. I left it in the video. You can see it in there. You can actually see it in there twice, 2 different times. It's pretty obvious what major mistake it is. Fortunately, I caught the mistake before it caused any major engine issues. That's why you always got to double check and triple check. And if something don't seem right, you figure out what it is before you go forward. But I didn't actually cover it in the video because we were kind of frantic to get the thing going, and I was going to cover it and didn't, but it's still in the video, I promise. I left it in there. I just didn't talk about it. So the first person to comment and nail what I actually did wrong, $100 Amazon gift card, I promise. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up for the second time. Remember, if you guys go to AreaDiesel and get anything mentioned there, perfect, free shipping. Kurt's going to help you out on some free shipping. Can't thank those guys enough. They're keep in mind, I'm watching their video 2 weeks after I've filmed my own. But wow, it was like a 53-minute video, and I was in tune to the whole thing. So it was awesome. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that fills in a few gaps. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, if you haven't already, give it a big old thumbs up. Be sure to go check out Kurt and the boys at AreaDiesel. You want to make sure you don't want to miss out what's coming up next and what machine we might end up buying. I'd consider subscribing, so we can catch you on the next one. Later, guys.